But you know I'm loco.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Smack Attack. I guess it's a World's End edition of the Smack Attack where we do our little predictions. But don't worry, we're still talking SmackDown. Obviously, it is the Smack Attack. I am your host, Jimmy T, and my co-host for the evening, or for the day, shall I say, it is the magnanimous, the glorious Chabelo Vera Cruz. What is cracking, man? Merry Christmas once again. And it's the first show right here on HMG after Christmas, man. How's things? How was your Christmas, actually, more importantly?
I'm good, Jimmy. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to the Hominites. You know what? The Hominites are sleeping still. You know, they've opened all their presents. You know, they've been drunk on eggnog with the alcohol on it. I already know Ray's already drunk after all the eggnog he's been drinking. If you really, especially for Hispanics, Coquito, he's done. You know, he's gonna be out for a couple of days. He's on fumes. But anyway, neither here nor there. So, you know, some Hominites might sprinkle in here and there. So, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, we keep the show flowing and going.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, we are. And thank you once again for joining me, man. Unfortunately, RBV was feeling a little crook. Hopefully, he's not shook and he'll be back next week.
Well, Jimmy, that's why so the Hominites are not confused. I'm not RBV. That's how my tagline is. So, yeah, I'm just.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Right. He's not RBV. You know, it's funny. I actually just noticed it right now, funny enough.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Anyway, well, we're here to talk all sorts of wrestling. Obviously, the news, the predictions, and the SmackDown. But you know what? As far as news goes, Prof, there's not that much going on. But apparently, Masha Slamovich announced for first Indies match since TNA departure. Are you a Masha Slamovich fan?
I mean, I looked at Masha Slamovich's matches, you know, in TNA, and she has some good matches in Impact Wrestling, the dog collar matches and stuff like that. And you could see the potential, and you could see Triple H salivating, saying, you know, once her contract is up, she'd be perfect for NXT. It'd probably be perfect for the main roster and stuff like that. So, you know, personal issues aside, you know what? Hopefully she gets a second chance. You know, again, it's the season of giving, Jimmy. It's the season of, you know, reconciliation. It's the season of let's move forward. Don't look backwards. That's the problem that a lot of people have because, again, how's Masha going to make a living if we keep reminding her of what happened? I'm not saying it was a good thing. You know, abuse is abuse, right, Jimmy? We understand that.
Yeah.
But if she has, you know, done the right things, got the treatment, you know, done all the stuff that she's supposed to do to better herself internally, emotionally, so this way for her next relationship, she won't make the same mistakes. Like I said, second chances it's not a bad thing. But let's move on.
True. I mean, there was a bit of hype on it too, man. I mean, I heard WWE were interested in her at one point, but I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess, for her in the future. But yeah, good luck to her. But let's go into AEW news though now, Prof, because apparently Andrade El Idolo reportedly now free to sign with any company after WWE no compete clause has apparently been waived. Do we expect him to be back in AEW? Do you think Tony Khan now will bring him back after the debacle that they had, you know, a few months ago?
Not only I expect him back, but I expect in the next couple of weeks, because you can't do it for World's End, but with the Young Bucks supposedly having, you know, a sabbatical, if you will, how many nights, because again they're injured. Come on, let's keep it real. They have they got those tour dates. You know, they have a set number of dates. So what was that match we were supposed to get? Maybe they were setting it up for a pay-per-view. It was supposed to be Omega and Andrade. Yep. So you know what they do in a couple of weeks from now? Maximum Carnage, whatever they call it. So the special gimmicks, Dynamites, I expect Andrade and Omega to pick up where they left off. So, you know, it's up to Excalibur to remind us how we got here. That's all we'll say.
Oh, let's see what happens there. In WWE news, I guess somewhat, but did you bet the Devon racial allegations about, you know, JR being racist, for example, according to Devon Dudley? And now JR comes out and says that he never said that and he doesn't understand why Devon would say that. Is this a game of who did it over here? I mean, could Devon possibly be lying, or is it JR that's lying? Is JR racist? Well, he isn't. I've heard in the past, to be honest with you, though, Prof, I'm talking about back in the day, even like back in these WCW days, that JR did have a bit of a racial streak, but he claims he's never been racist to Devon anyway. But who's lying over here, Prof?
You know what? We know the history. I'm not saying we know the history of JR, but we know where he came from. Came from the UWF days, came from the Southern Territory days, the Bill Watts days. So, you know, what is considered racist now is technically it was the norm. I hate to use that word. I don't want to say it's the norm, but it was what it was back then. And a lot of African-American wrestlers felt a certain type of way. Remember, there's stories about Teddy Long. He didn't like Ric Flair. He didn't like Ole Anderson too. So, you know, again, I'm not saying Teddy Long's a liar, but that's the experience. The African-American experience in professional wrestling, especially back in the days, was not a pleasant one. So, you know, you had to put up with a lot of bullshit. Probably still do. Who knows? But again, neither here nor there. But JR maybe feeling, you know, surprised by it. You know, sometimes if we talk with each other, Jimmy, and I say something to you and you look at me like, wait, that's not, what do you mean, Prof? You know what I mean? It's like, you don't know what my intention is. Right. And probably you could just speak a certain way. You're like, wait, I didn't mean it that way. This is the way it is. So what could be deemed as racist to Devon Dudley does not mean that JR did not say it, but the interpretation is different. Unless he said the N-word, we don't know that. That's the thing. So unless he called Devon the N-word, which Devon probably would have slapped him in the face, got fired, and never been in WWE ever again, 100%. That didn't happen. So again, it's interpretation. You know, remember, can't say boy to a black man. Never say boy to a black man. Ask the Hammer that. You know, I bet you no one called the Hammer boy, because if they did, he would slap the shit out of them. That's what I'm just saying. So again, it's interpretation. I'm not saying Devon's lying, and I'm not saying Jay Rohr's lying. I just think it's just the way people interpret things without getting proper explanation, proper communication.
That's true. It could have been the whole, I don't know. It just seems a bit weird. You know, one saying this, one saying that. But I think you're right. I think it has to do with interpretation and how it was meant per se. And, you know, I don't know, but hopefully they can patch things up. I'm guessing that it won't get spoken about again for whatever reason. Devon's, I don't know. I don't even know if Devon's responded yet, but we'll see.
Here's another folly. Because remember, does Devon have a podcast?
He does.
What do you need to do? You need people to click over to your podcast. You said something, right? I don't want to call it clickbaiting, but you're going to go to this podcast to get more information, more of a story. Some people create podcasts, you know, when they do podcasts, and maybe the numbers are not up to par, up to snuff. You got to create something. Controversy creates cash. I'm not saying Devon's a liar. I'm just saying, I'm investigating. I'm asking questions.
As you should be asking questions, as we all should be. And controversy does create cash, as Eric Bischoff once told us. Actually, that was a great read, by the way, if anyone hasn't checked his book out from back in the day. But yeah, it's interesting, no less, and we'll see what happens. Funny enough, though, Prof, I don't know what's up with last week, but last week seems to be a week of bringing up a lot of racial things. Like apparently Booker T spoke about how he was racially, like, you know, like he had a lot of racism coming up, but he says in WCW he only had one incident and that was it. But you know what's weird about him, and even in WWE, he said he received racism, but didn't say from whom and what, why, and whatnot. But I thought he was always one that used to say, like, you know, a lot of African American people would call him sort of like a sellout with the way he's very staunch about the racism in pro wrestling. I find it interesting that he's kind of gone the other way suddenly out of nowhere.
Is he defending WWE or is he defending just his history of his interaction with people?
He's basically saying that he did have racial incidents like in WWE and WCW, but in WCW he said only one time he ever received that. But when he first started before WCW and whatnot, him and his brother did receive a lot of racism too, though.
Well, remember, again, this is allegations, so I'm not saying this is true, but remember, him becoming the champion at Bash at the Beach, you know, take it for a grain of salt. Like Vince Russo said, I wanted Booker T to be the champion because he deserved to be. They're getting sued. Let's not forget that litigation with Sonny Ono and accusing WCW of racial stuff. So, you know, what do you do? What do you do to say, wait a minute, there ain't no racism here?
True.
We put a black man. We gave a black man the world title. The timing was kind of funny. Again, Booker T, great wrestling career, five-time WCW champion, King Booker, all that stuff, right?
Absolutely.
But he paid his dues. Sometimes, when you pay your dues, let's not forget, Hominess, when you pay your dues, you got to take a lot of shit that you don't want to do. So now at this point in time, he's got his own wrestling promotion, Reality Pro Wrestling and stuff like that in Texas. He's teaching the next up and comers like Roxanne Perez, one of his prodigies, you could say. So he's giving back to it. But you got to take a lot of shit to get to a spot where you can change the way wrestling is, change the perception behind the scenes, and change the culture, quote unquote.
Nice, well put. J12 says, I think Devon got hit in the head one too many times. That's a possibility. But also, the OG Comic King is in the house, and he says, let's talk about it. What up, Todd Brownlee? He is the OG Comic King. And, of course, J12 says, Devon trying to be Maven even does the same thumbnails, no creativity. I mean, them two are best friends, if you didn't know that, which is surprising to me. I didn't know they were best friends until a while ago.
All I'm saying is, we got to ask questions. What are those numbers? What are those podcast numbers?
Actually, he's doing all right. He's doing pretty good, 100%. Todd says, I never thought Booker T was a sellout, but he does come off as a company man. Yeah, I mean, some people do call him a sellout. I mean, for whatever reason. Look, man, I think it's his truth, and that's all that matters. You know what I mean? If it's his truth and he believes it,
just remember,
ask questions.
Not only ask questions. That's a good thing, but let's not forget. Just a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago, remember, Mick Foley was the ultimate WWE company man. Right. But he said, I cannot take anymore. I have to quit my relationship with WWE because of their affiliation with the Trump administration, especially, Triple H being the Dean of Health and Human Services with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. But it took that for Mick Foley to say, I got to get out of here. But then people are reminding Mick Foley, you were still part of Blood Money. You were still part of Saudi Arabia. Did he go there? I don't know personally. Maybe he did maybe he did some appearances neither here nor there, Jimmy. But I'm just saying, like, you checked your morals at the door for Saudi Arabia. And again, you can make any business decision you want. But again, when you compare one moral to a different moral, it's kind of like, wait, nah. Fuck that. You're just cherry picking what suits you.
Yeah, see, I find that so weird, dude. I mean, we were talking about this off the air about how politics shouldn't, fuck up any sort of relationships whatsoever, right? Whether it's family, friends, or and whatever. Mm-hmm. But even in this, it applies because, like you said, Foley, you can't just pick and choose, man. You know what I mean? It was all good then, but it's not all good now. Like, come on, bro. You know what I mean? You can't be playing those sort of games. And you know what's even worse? Does it hurt I don't want to say his legacy in WWE, but do you think WWE will even be more than happy to rehire him after Trump says, once he's out of power, obviously, which is going to be a while, but till then, do you think WWE are going to actually even look at him again? I think they won't.
No, if Triple H learned from his father-in-law,
Oh,
as long as it makes money, as long as it makes business sense, you can always come home. So, Triple H personally, and I think you can separate political stuff and personal stuff. Wait, you know what? I take that back, Jimmy, because I don't know Triple H. I know Vince McMahon, what he did.
Right.
He said, you know what? I don't care what happens. As long as it makes money, as long as my fans want it, I don't know Triple H. I don't know, the people that he likes and the people that have issues with him. So if he takes them back, we'll see. The only one I know is CM Punk. He went back under the Triple H regime. So again, let's see how this is a different situation. So will Triple H welcome Mick Foley back into the fold after Donald Trump's out of power? That's a good question. We don't know that technically. Do you have any history with Triple H having issues with wrestlers coming back? Because remember, he's brought wrestlers back that were let go. Remember, those cuts and budget cuts? He let them back. And then what did he do? He released them again. So, is that friendly? Is that great? Is that a great friendship, a great rapport? Killer Cross is a great example. He got let go, he got brought back, and then
Yeah, that is weird. That's some sort of political game going on there, I think. But with everyone else, I think you realize, for example, I wouldn't have released Swerve, for example, but Top Dollar and all that, I would have absolutely got rid of all of them. I would have been screw this.
I'm just saying, again, he brought them back and then let them go again. So I don't know, personally, how they feel about Triple H now. It's different now. So again, will he bring him back into the fold if it makes sense? That's the way Vince McMahon always thought. That's what it is.
You bring up Cross, and I just want to bring up, do you think he's a little too outspoken for WWE? Or is he doing the right thing by being outspoken for himself and his wife, obviously? Because you know how it is in WWE. When you start trying to be too, mouthy, wanting to do things your way, you're not going to get your way, plain and simple. It doesn't matter who you are. You know what I'm saying? So
there's a power vacuum in WWE, and it's always with the head person in charge, and that's Triple H. And his right-hand man's and the creative. You can have a good voice like Killer Cross is and trying to nudge and try to give some ideas. But if you're not on the level of John Cena to put input, if you're not on the level of Seth Rollins, if you're not on the level of Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns to have the input and the cachet to say, you know what? It ain't work for me, brother. Killer Cross doesn't have that. And we all like Killer Cross, don't get me wrong. But he doesn't have that cachet, and he doesn't have the dollars to back him up to a degrey. I know the last run before he got let go, he was selling merch. I understand that.
He was number one, right?
Right.
So, I mean,
that doesn't matter. But that doesn't matter.
Right.
Because look at the motivation of the merch. People were rallying behind Killer Cross. Where's that rally right now? Where's the bring Killer Cross back? So WWE's kind of proven right. You know what? We'll weather that storm, but you know what? You forgot about him. Just like John Cena says, 3 weeks later, you forgot about him. We move on.
I hate to say it, Prof, and I'm a fan of Cross, man, and shout out to Cross, man. I've interacted with him on numerous occasions, man. I hate to say it, but you're right. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. I mean, oh man, I don't want to say too much about it, but you can, like you said, everyone was rallying behind him, right? Mm-hmm. Is it because of that, or is it because of his, everybody's legitimately behind him? If you get where I'm coming from,
it's because of that. There's
right.
always a sector of fans. There's always a sector of fans that want to fuck with WWE's programming. Right. We know this. They've done it. They've been successful a couple of times. And don't get me wrong. And sometimes the fans are right. But again, WWE has their mantra, has their, mode of operations of how they do business. And sometimes they're proven more right.
You're right, man. I can't go against it. Todd said, and this is an interesting point, which is true. Nash said, my ties are with WWE, not Trump. And that's why he didn't cut ties with WWE. Exactly. He also said they're family to him. As in Triple H, the McMahons, the Levesques, and whatnot. They're all family to him. And you shouldn't do.
Which also meant that Nash got a little bit of a bonus with his Legends contract. Just to make sure that, he doesn't cut ties. And Triple H made sure that. I got you. Kev. I got you, Kev.
No, but really though, they are boys, man, and I mean like they're boys. You know what I'm saying? So, and I love that they're still close. To be honest, I actually like their relationship. They're literally for life. You know what I mean? Like legitimately. So I kind of like that, man. This is A Texas says Vince is better than Triple H. A lot of people are saying that. I mean, the way he deals with things
I
is
disagree.
better.
It's more about, again, flavor of the moment. And then, again, people are mad at Triple H for certain other things, booking wise, John Cena tapping out and shit like
That was
that.
a whole build-up.
I'm just giving you all the, and of course, we can say 2025, the Triple H booking has been consistent, but it has been consistently, I don't want to say lackluster, Jimmy, but consistently safe. It has consistency.
Perfect word.
It's just consistently safe. So has he pushed the envelope? He doesn't need to, because the sponsors are coming in. The money's coming in. Of course, Saudi Arabia, what is it, Royal Rumble? They already got $250 million for Saudi Arabia. So he doesn't need to really push the envelope with $250 million coming. And then the year after that, with Saudi Arabia WrestleMania 2 nights in a row, that's $500 million right there. So he's like, I don't need to push the envelope. The money's coming in.
That's going to be something else when we see Mania in Riyadh or wherever it's going to be. That's going to blow my mind, dude. Frank Pickles Barrel's ass says WWE could put animals dressed in wrestling gear and morons will watch. I guess we're all morons, right, Frank? I mean, shit. But he does have a point.
Frank's not half wrong, because again, people are going on WWE Shop to buy Mr. Iguana, right? For $60, $70 a pop. We got you. We got you, Marks. You're going to spend $60 and $70 for an animal, and that's Mr. Iguana.
He's right.
For the kids,
He's
though.
fucking right.
For the kids. For the kids.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
For the kids, right? For the kids. Right. Exactly. It is what it is. You know what? That's pretty much all the major news, man. If there's anything else,
I just want to say something. This is a shoot, Hami Nice, for the couple that are still riding strong. And of course, when the Hami Nice get to watch this later on in the night, maybe another couple of days from now. But you know what? I just want to say to all those podcasters and Sports Illustrated and all those stickle marktards, because we'll talk about this on the Wreckage. I'm just going
for sure.
But you know what? If you are glossing or grifting because SI Wrestling told you that the promotion of the year is AEW, you deserve to be called a sicko, because something is wrong. First and foremost, for any social media platform, Jimmy, I hope Hameen doesn't do this, but again, I'm shooting if they do it too. But if you really want to award a promotion of the year, it's baffling to me. I'm sorry. Let's keep it individual wise. If you love Will Ospreay, go ahead. He's the wrestler of the year in your mind. If you love Seth Rollins, go ahead, say he's wrestler of the year. But don't tell me AEW is better than WWE or TNA is better than Stardom or fucking CMLL is better than AAA. That does not. We don't know the criteria of promotion of the year, because everybody's got different criteria to say who's the promotion.
That's true. Actually, that's very well said.
Some people
say it's
booking. Some people say it's booking. Some people say it's ticket sales. Some people say it's social media engagement. You know why WWE would win that every year? Because they have the bigger parts of it, the business wise. So you can't compare with WWE. That's why they would be promotion of the year. That's why I don't want to put that bubble on them. But if you go booking, I can pull apart WWE booking. We do it on the Wreckage Weekly. Nights. We pull apart AEW booking. So if it's booking, no promotion is booker of the year or promotion of the year. TNA has flaws. Stardom has flaws. Mexico is different because they have a tradition. But I'm just saying,
right.
Promotion of the year. Come on, people. Let's get real.
That's why he's the professor, folks. I mean, shit. I never thought of it like that. But you're right, because my criteria, right, in my mind, I guess I look at it, what I enjoyed more between AEW and WWE, but then others would say who sold more tickets, who there's so many different criterias, man. Like, so I guess you got to put them all together if you're going to say one, but then WWE would always win, like you said. Yeah. Even if AEW had stronger booking, WWE are going to win in other categories overall. So you're right. So you know what? There's no such thing as promotion of the year. You're spot on. It's got to be, I guess it's got to be redone Not promotion of the year, but what promotion did you enjoy more on
No,
television?
I don't even want to do that either because that's
Not even
tribalism
that.
too. Nah, just keep it individual because the best tribalism is the individual wrestler you like. Because then we can always have debates and arguments of who's wrestler of the year. If you like John Cena being the wrestler of the year, or Roman Reigns being wrestler of the year, or like I said, Will Ospreay or Swerve being wrestler of the year, that's great debate because we can keep it in the ring. Actually, and we can do business too. But that's just what I'm saying.
Well, unfortunately, there is tribalism as humans love being, right? So they do stick with their brands too, though, Prof. You know that. You know what I mean? You got your team AEW, your team WWE, and they swear by both promotions. How about we say we love pro wrestling?
Yeah, we love pro wrestling, but that's why I just wanted to go on this little shoot because SI Wrestling, John Alba, it was a vote of 7 people. That determined that AEW was promotion of the year. How the hell from 7 people out of thousands and thousands of fans could you legitimately tell me that AEW is promotion of the year? Again, that's all I'm saying.
You're right. I mean, shit, we cover the Wreckage every week. It isn't. What was a major, look, I don't want to talk. This is a little preview, but I just want to point out one thing. Was there a real shocking thing in 2025 when it comes to AEW, which was like, wow, like just a big moment? Nothing, in my opinion, all year.
No. The only shocking moment was John Cena nut-shotting Cody Rhodes. That was the shock of the year.
And the worst thing about the year,
win an award. And that didn't win an award in SI.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Funny enough, that never won an award. Give me a break.
There's another preview. You can't beat that as moment of the year. You know what I mean? Like, period. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's also the worst moment of the year. You can put it in both categories.
I would not fight with you, Jimmy, on that. I'm just saying, but certain things there's tribalistic. It's fine, but let's keep it individuals. Let's not do it company because it's not fair.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like Frank says, Professor always has a great view on wrestling that I don't think of. That's why he's the professor. Like I said,
I'm objective. I mean? Frank's Picklebell. I'm objective.
People
accuse me of being a WWE show. I don't know why. I'm just saying.
One particular person says that, and I don't even see it. I don't even understand how he sees it that way. But not everyone can love us all, right? I mean, it is what it is.
Hey, you keep coming back. When you keep coming back and shitting on me, that means you're still watching me. I love
exactly. Spot on. Well, you know what, Prof? I think it's time we do get into SmackDown anyway, man. If there's any other news, we'll break it, I'm sure, on that Wreckage tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Don't forget about that because it's a bumper show. But let's get into SmackDown, shall we? Because, again, it was taped, right, last week, if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did they do the 3 shows in a row? Or was it?
No, they kind of nestled in like 2 shows within a 4-week span, but it was like split like 2 days apart. Okay.
It's weird how they do that. And usually they are throwaway shows per se, and there was only 4 matches the whole night. But and I guess really the one that really stands out, I guess, is the WWE United States Championship Open Challenge match between Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov. And I mean, surprise, surprise, Melo is your new US champion, and he wins via pinfall with a nothing but net. I'm happy for that, man. It was a great match. I'm excited for him. WWE seems like they're all in suddenly with Melo. I guess he's a babyface now too, because everyone seems behind him, and he really was happy about winning that championship. Legit.
Sometimes, Jimmy, we have to be patient with people. And Carmelo Hayes, and again, Carmelo Hayes came in with a lot of pomp and circumstance. He was the number 1 pick in that WWE draft for SmackDown. He fought Cody Rhodes in his SmackDown debut. Kind of botched that match, I remember, if I'm not mistaken. But neither here nor there. But I'm just saying, he didn't win certain matches. He was on a losing streak, and then certain ways, slowly, but this is the slow burn that Triple H does. It's consistent, but it's safe. But the consistent, safe booking was Carmelo Hayes being with The Miz, tag team wise and stuff like that. And people started noticing Carmelo Hayes doing a lot of things in that match. So with that being said, and then of course the last time is now a tournament. I think a lot of people were arguing that Carmelo Hayes should have been in the finals against John Cena just to showcase what John Cena wanted in this tournament. A young up-and-comer with untapped potential maybe he could have came up short and nobody would have been mad about that, because I think most people wanted Carmelo Hayes to be in that finals match just to put on a good showing, and I'm sure he would have had a good showing. And maybe John would have been like, you know what, I don't mind the kid winning because I wanted him to, get that leg up. But again, Triple H has his own vision and shit like that. So, he had that good match. And now he had a couple of U.S. title opportunities. What is it? Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov, they've had banger matches in NXT. So, a lot of people probably, the first things I saw was, oh my God, this reminded me of NXT. They had that kind of NXT kind of, motion and shit like that,
Right.
psychology. It was all about the banger moves and the banger spots. Because I think one of the moves was a reversal into a cutter off the top rope. Because I think Ilya was doing a superplex and then Carmelo reversed it. As long as the execution is well, Jimmy, it's a good match. It's a banger match. But when you botch, we will remind you. That's the problem. Again, that's my preference and shit like that. So good for Carmelo Hayes. 2026 looks a little bit brighter for Carmelo Hayes being the U.S. champion, but I will warn Carmelo Hayes, and I'm warning Trips here, Jimmy.
Uncle Trips.
Uncle Trips. The U.S. Open Challenge is still a bad storyline. I'm sorry to say that. You cannot recreate it. No U.S. champion is obligated to be to do this. John Cena made it good. I love the U.S. Open Challenge. And, Sami Zayn said, I wanted to take that torch. Fine. Ilya Dragunov, fine. But I don't need Carmelo to do it. I'm sorry. I don't need it. Let him build on people. You have Miz. You have something back in the days, Jimmy. Even though people don't want to see that kind of match, but at least it's something. It's a filler storyline for SmackDown purposes. So let him fight for the U.S. title and shit like that. But don't do the U.S. Open challenges. It's a waste. It's a waste of Carmelo. Carmelo Hayes can talk. Carmelo Hayes has charisma. So that's what I'm just saying. Carmelo Hayes has all that stuff. And thank you, Colin. I know I'm not. I'm just reminding the people I ain't, because some people said I look like RBV. I don't know how the hell. I mean, I'm darker. I'm darker.
Wait, really? No. Is that a shoot?
Work shoot. That's a work shoot. But anyway, need to hit on that. But let me just say this again.
Oh shit!
Carmelo Hayes has a lot of charisma, even as a heel. Even though he's, you already established he's a baby face because people were cheering for him. But maybe Trick Williams is coming in. We don't know. So you could actually do something like that. You could recreate that magic in NXT where Trick Williams maybe wants to take that U.S. title and take the thunder away from Carmelo Hayes. But that's stories. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Don't do the open challenge because it's a waste. It's a waste of his talents because he can talk you into the arena too. That's all.
And what's even worse, don't do open challenges with your whole tag division. I mean, because that's pretty much what it was for the most part, man, with Ilya Dragunov anyway, because they got nothing for the tag division on the SmackDown side of things, to be honest. So instead, let's all have him fighting for the US championship, which is a singles championship. What the hell is that? Why would they even do that? Anyway,
I mean, the Wyatts are still the tag team champions, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they are. And I'm also hearing, I don't know if it's true or not, but there's rumors that the Street Profits have asked for their release. Now that's just, don't quote me because I don't know if it's true or not. I've just heard rumblings online that apparently that's the case, but
well, they haven't been on TV for weeks. But at least the difference between AEW and WWE, how many nights is when WWE does what freezes you out, we're not really asking for them back. Because they when they disappear, they're not being written for no reason, for some reason. AEW does it. And again, this is not. See, I guess this is the example of me being the WWE show. But when AEW does it, they do a story and then they disappear. Literally do a story and then they don't even finish the story and then they disappear off TV. But again, with WWE, we already finished with the Profits. We don't need them right now, so we'll wait. Again, people thought that Montez Ford, they were trying to do that story with them breaking away, and maybe Montez Ford will finally get that single.
Well, they teased it.
They teased it a little bit. Where did it go?
No.
If there's frustration, or maybe it could be a little bit of both. It could be a little bit of Montez being loyal to his brother in arms, Hawkins. I mean, Dawkins, whatever it is. But
Dawkins, yeah.
Yeah, Dawkins. But you know what I mean? It's like if he's loyal to his brother like that, that's on him. There's money for Montez Ford. People want to see it. But if he wants to stay loyal to the Profits, then you know what? Let him go. And you know Tony Khan will pick him up because that's a good injection to the tag team division for AEW.
For sure, no doubt about it. But man, if he is loyal to a fault, and I'm talking about Montez Ford to Dawkins, man, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like you just gotta look out for yourself too, man. If that's what's holding him back, and I'm sure it's a hard decision. Don't get me wrong. Collins says it's because all Puerto Ricans look alike.
Oh, RBV is multiracial. You know
that. Zane says stop lying. Apparently, but that's all right because
he is the master and ruler of my balls, not the
world. All right, Zane, there you go. Usually we introduce him as the master ruler of the world, but not this time. Frank says 40's money. He is. If he's booked right. I mean, he's got charisma, let's be honest. I mean, he oozes charisma. He's a character too, man. And he's got the background.
And, for example, people were begging for him to be the hooded guy at War Games, and it turned out to be Austin Theory. So could have done something with him.
It did look like there was two different ones at one stage, man. There was one time, I think the second time we ever saw him, his mannerisms in the ring were very Montez-ish, if you know what I mean.
Could have been, but you know, some people were really weird about it because they were looking at Montez's ass or Austin Theory's ass. Why the hell are dudes looking at some guy's ass to say, well, that's a wrestler? Like, I can tell. You saw the tweets. You saw them tweets. They're like, look at Austin Theory's ass. That's him. That's the masked man right there. Like, come on, dude. Leave it alone. Don't get that. That's personal.
Damn. Each to their own, I guess. Hey, I'm not judging. But yeah, that's it. Anyway, that was that though, man. I don't know what's going with the Profits. We'll just wait and see what happens there. But I guess let's move on because we started off SmackDown with a Miracle on 34th Street fight match between Joe Hendry and The Miz. And of course, Joe Hendry does win via the standing ovation pinfall. But before that, we did have a segment. We had jingle bells, jingles all the way, or The Miz has small balls, whatever he was singing about. This was classic Miz segment in many ways. For the first time in how long? I haven't heard, his catchphrase when he says, "When I put my hands up, your mouth goes shut." I hadn't heard that in a long time, so that kind of popped me. But it was a typical Miz / Joe Hendry type of segment. I guess it works well for both of them. And we see R-Truth in the bunny suit also taking out the Miz.
Well, you can look at it this way. Miz knows his place. He knows how to get the crowd going because, again, he has a purpose.
Absolutely.
Now here's where it gets a little bit funky and tricky, Jimmy. And again, maybe you can answer this. I don't know. But once people see Joe Hendry do this, and we know his character, does the guitar, he sings wrestlers. This is where what he's done for years. We're talking about the UK scene and shit like that. But once he starts doing his guitar solo and singing songs about Miz, this is the main roster. This is a different beast. Will the same people who love Joe Hendry be like, oh God, this is nothing now? What the hell's Joe? WWE is wasting Joe Hendry's talents. Even though Joe Hendry has been doing this for years, singing about wrestlers. Am I wrong?
No, I mean, from the indies
about wrestlers
to the
and
main promotions.
This is how he made money and how he made his gimmick and how he got the call up. I want to warn people before they start shitting on WWE booking and shitting on Triple H. This is a Joe Hendry gimmick. He sings about wrestlers and makes fun of wrestlers. Now, here's the other part. Again, because of what TNA did with Joe Hendry with I don't want to call it a slow burn, but the weird momentum stopper. He should have won the title a little bit earlier than he did. And then we saw a little bit of like they were trying to downgrade his momentum going into WWE and NXT. So again, the Marktars were watching all this. The Marktars are taking notes. The Marktars are grading Joe Hendry. So any false steps of Joe Hendry on the SmackDown roster, any losses to The Miz will be amplified. Oh my God. Let's just keep it a slow burn. And of course, I'll say this: a little bit of a shoot, Jimmy.
Ooh.
I don't know if the ceiling for Joe Henry, especially on WWE television, is main event worthy to begin with.
Ooh.
Sorry to say that.
Oh.
This makes me objective, right? Does not make me a shill. But I just say with what he does with his character, it's very mid. It's a very mid card slot. That's all I'm just saying. That's all.
I mean, you just hit the gong. There it is.
And I'm just saying that's just my interpretation. There is a ceiling for his character. It belongs somewhere on the segment, but that doesn't mean he can main event WrestleMania. That doesn't mean he can main event SummerSlam. He just belongs at a certain slot. The ceiling is not that high to me.
I agree. I've never been the biggest Joe Hendry friggin' fan, to be honest. I get the hype. And don't get me wrong, some of the shit back in the day, when I say back in the day, I'm talking about 5 years ago on the indie scene. Some of the songs he's done for wrestlers have been hilarious. I'll admit that, right? Some are funny as hell. Like the one with Kurt Angle was one of the best I've ever seen, especially with the song he was playing at the time. The one with Drew McIntyre too in the indies was absolute golden. And there was a few. There was a few that's golden. I'm just thinking about it and laughing, just thinking about it. But in WWE, first of all, I think it's getting old already, this whole gimmick. It just feels like it's getting a little stale at this point. The WWE fans, no, I don't want to say his name, this in Texas. I didn't even say his name. See, I'm smart. I don't want to go there. Well, I'll call him H from now on. That's his name. JH, all right?
There you go.
Because I don't want him appearing, that's for sure. But the thing is, and that's another thing, how much can you use that card? You know, say his name and he appears.
But again, there's a ceiling. The concepts are there, and you can make fun of the Miz, you can make fun of lower tier superstars on the roster, and it fills a void. That's all it is. Nothing wrong with entertaining stuff, because again, R-Truth, we've already passed the R-Truth comedy stuff. So now we need new comedy. Joe Henry with the music is beautiful. I have no problem with that.
Oh shit, Frank Pickles Barrel's ass. He's been spoiling us. To be fair, Prof, just to take those words off you there. I mean, on Like a Raw, he just kept going and going and going. I don't know what was going on, but here he is with another $2 super sticker. Thank you, Frank. I mean, shit. There's a gong for you too, bro. For the $2 super sticker.
Is that
and
a $2 EBT money card? What?
Yeah, man. It's not money. It's a $2 EBT card, a Joe one.
There you go.
Mind you. So thank you, Frank's Pickle Barrels AS, for that one. What was I going to say? Where was I? So yeah, he's ceiling. I think he's already broken the ceiling, to be honest. And I don't even know why WWE signed him. I wouldn't be surprised if they have, I don't want to say a regretful signing, but like this is going to be his shtick. He's going to go no further. I mean, is there a chance he could become IC champion? Even say, can we go that high?
You could go that high, IC champ or US heavyweight champion. I just don't see him at that main event slot. He's a good lower to mid card level person and has good time filler, concerts, making fun of heels and stuff like that. It works. Like I said, that's his shtick for years.
It is for years, literally. Zane says, "Have a heart, Frank."
But the difference is, and I'll be fair here, in the UK and maybe in TNA a little bit, he had a little bit more cachet to be a little bit more raunchy with his music.
Because he's the man there, really, in TNA. Right. You know what I mean?
No, but he could be a little bit more raunchy. Right. I mean, again, the Miz and talking about his balls is one thing, but again, how raunchy can he be with his music, and how raunchy can he be with his making fun of wrestlers? We'll see.
We'll see. It's true. Time will tell. Last but not least, Prof, we have a women's tag match between Julia and Kiana James. And mind you, they defeated Alba Fire and Chelsea Green via the Northern Lights bomb pinfall. Is this another restart for Julia at this point? Are they trying to bring her back on track, even though they've totally failed her, in my opinion?
Define fail. What were your expectations?
All right. Well, she wins the what was it? Was it the Continental? The US Women's Championship, right? Mm-hmm. Then what did they do with her? Nothing. She wasn't really defending it. She wasn't doing nothing. Do you know what I mean? And then she loses it. I mean,
here's the problem. Here's the problem. again, if we're comparing her with Stephanie Becker, they came at the same time, right?
Well, people used to compare him. Actually, funny enough, even before WWE.
But Stephanie Becker has a very alluring look. Number one, has a very alluring gimmick, Devil's Kiss. Two, and a very alluring accent when she speaks when tries to speak English.
Tries, right?
There's nothing alluring about Julia. She's a very ground and pound gritty wrestler. And again, she has an ass and stuff like that. So again, I'm a man. I still see it too. But again, she's not as alluring as Stephanie Becker. Number one. Number two, if we compare the accents, whose accent is thicker between her and Stephanie Becker, where you could cut a promo? And the reason is Stephanie Becker can actually hold her own a little bit, then go into her Spanish. But Julia needs Kiana James. That's already the flag right there. That's a red flag right there, number one. Number two, again, you talk about she won the U.S. belt. Again, Trips was feeding the Martars something. Here you go. We'll give that U.S. women's title to her. You're right. They didn't do anything with her. But again, she can't talk them into the building. She can't talk that storyline on SmackDown. So again, she's great for Stardom. She probably would have been greater for AEW because she would have just been so one-dimensional to have those banger matches. That's all you wanted. But
perfect for AEW.
But if you want charisma, character, she needs more. That's why you added Kiana James. Is it working? No, I don't really care.
It doesn't suit him though, really.
Right. So until she has a better grasp of the English language, I hate to say that, she will not go far. She will not. She really won't go far.
And we've said this for years anyway, to be honest. I mean, anyone that can't speak English properly, well, look, for some reason, though, I will say this.
No, Stephanie Becker's English is still thick. Let's not get it twisted.
Right. No, fuck
but
yeah. Absolutely.
She go back and forth between English and her Spanish, and it works. That's all I'm saying.
But I can play devil's advocate here, right? Because look at Io Sky, for example, and the Kabuki Warriors. The people love them, man. And they don't really speak English, obviously, well. But for some reason, they got that charisma where they can still connect with the people, though. It's hard to explain. Julia seems to have no connection with the people at all.
Maybe
so that's, I guess, the difference.
Maybe you just book Julia better because if you want her to be with Asuka and Kairi Sane, and she could just speak straight up Japanese, she works there.
Maybe there you go.
Be a Kabuki Warrior.
Yeah, you're right. He says, "Wow, Professor, I guess about Julia." And by the way, Zane, we've already spoken about Mello at the start of the show, so bring it back, and you'll hear about us talking about Mello.
Contribute to $2 like Frank Prickleberry did. Maybe we'll go again and talk about it.
Absolutely,
it will cost you to rewind it.
Frank says, "Professor, we all dig Spanish girls speaking English." Absolutely. It sounds beautiful. It's nice. You know what I mean? Even if they can't say it properly. Zane says also, what's next? Something about getting monkeys off backs? What are you talking about, Zane? We don't want to speak about him again. We've already spoken about him, so go check it out if you haven't already. Anyway, let's move on. We did get a Jade Cargill little segment. Cool. She's that bitch right now, though. So I'm all for it.
I think we're waiting for Bianca to come back. That's what it is. I think if she's going to run roughshod over the WWE women's division, especially on the SmackDown side, apparently this injury with Bianca and her thumb is really more fatal than we thought. I thought she was going to come back maybe before the end of the year. So unless they're really like saving it for the WrestleMania run, hopefully she'll be fine by then. But I guess we're waiting for that because, again, you have people to work with. Again, this is the problem, and this goes with any organization, AEW and WWE. If you focus too much on one person and then overshadow the whole women's roster, then they're insignificant. You got Michin, you got Chelsea Green, you got Alba Fire, you got a lot of women that could you can almost run through for Jade Cargill until Bianca Belair gets back. But use them. If you want to do something, use them.
I agree, but could it be about the Montez? Could there be some sort of politics going on? Again, I'm playing devil's advocate. I don't believe there is, But who knows?
Hey, that's actually a good thought. Stand by your man. That's an old school song, Tommy Nice. Look it up.
Yeah, but it's true. I heard the same thing though, Prof. That apparently her thumb is a lot more serious. And remember, if it's tendons as well, you don't just recover from tendon it's not just surgeries, but injuries quickly. It takes months, man, to actually come back from it, even if it's only fingers. So hopefully she gets back ASAP, obviously. But we'll see what happens there. I mean, who knows when she's going to come back at this point. But for now, I think Jade Cargill can be that bitch, as she calls herself, right? I mean, shit. In WWE. And I like this run so far. I mean, she hasn't done too much, but I like the way they're portraying her. She's pretty much that killer again from AEW.
Well, you could do a little bit of what Tony Khan did in AEW. Just feed her some NXT call-ups, from the Performance Center. Have those 2-minute squash matches. This way, she could still be that bitch in the ring, and just keep proving her. Now, I don't want to say proving herself, but at least just showcasing her skills. That's all you need.
I agree. I mean, you can argue that she's still kind of green. I mean, to be fair, as you say again.
Well, she'll always be green because we know the motivation.
She wants to get into movies, bro.
Yeah, no.
That's what she wants, exactly. And that's another thing. Do you think that would be even fine with that?
WWE will look at it from one standpoint. Anything that still talks about us is a positive. But again, this generation of wrestlers, and this is generational, Jimmy. If you're very motivated on side hustle and side projects, again, no fault to you, but again, for the wrestling purposes, who hurts with this? The fans, because they don't see their favorite wrestlers week in and week out with their outside projects.
Straight up. Facts. But yeah, look, we'll see what happens in the future, as you just said. But I guess that's pretty much SmackDown, man. It wasn't the greatest show, but it wasn't the worst show either. So,
well, I mean, we could talk about the endless feud between Aleister Black and Damian Priest.
Oh yes, I forgot about that. Right, thank you for actually reminding me. And actually, you can start about that. Well, how do you feel about all this? I mean, because to me, I don't dig it, dude, at all.
Well, if the end game is for Damian Priest to maybe join Aleister Black's, House of Black, you could say that'll work. If you're trying to like possess his soul, I'm going to take your soul, because Damian Priest needs something. Maybe he needs to run with somebody. Doesn't hurt to have a House of Black with Aleister Black. I mean, I'm sorry. Is it Aleister or Malachi? I forget.
It's Aleister now. It's Aleister again. Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me, Jimmy.
That's
but
again,
all right. Like all Puerto Ricans are the same, Aleister Black and Malachi look the same too. But anyway, neither here nor there. But you get what I'm saying. I mean, if you want to recruit somebody, Damian probably needs a reboot or a reset. So why not join a House of Black, sort of?
I would. Well, yeah. Yeah, we can't go to Judgment Day because it's not there anymore. So, yeah, I agree. But then does he play second fiddle to Black?
I'm just saying, it's just a reset. It's a reboot. That's what it is. Because again, he could be AEW's version of Brody King. He could be Aleister's heater and then just beat up people. I think. Yeah. And plus, look at it this way, right? If he joins Aleister Black, right, the new kind of House of Black,
right?
Look who they can chase right behind my back for that U.S. title. You got two killers.
I guess they could.
It writes itself for weekly SmackDowns. I'm not saying it's must-see TV, but at least it gives you something. I wouldn't mind seeing Damian Priest chase for that belt.
No, you're right. I mean, I'm just not sure about it just yet. Like, I need to see more, but they need to do something more intriguing to me. Like, is it just me? Also, has Priest put on a bit of weight?
But it looks like it. With the spandex is not covering up that, but when you eat the pasteles, Jimmy, you gotta go back to the gym. You eat the pernil, you gotta go back to the gym.
Well, I mean,
good food, and plus he's fucking Lola Vice. She's cooking good food. She's cooking some good food for him too. You gotta go back to the gym.
Well, you both get a gong for this because again, Frank Pickles Barrow's eyes gives us another $2.
You muted your mic, Jimmy. Wait, so do I have to talk about Carmelo Hayes? Oh wait, that was Zayn. I said Zayn
Oh,
gives me
Zayn,
2,000,
right.
so we can talk about Carmelo.
Mackenzie, 1988 says they need to take that title off Cody Rhodes badly. He doesn't have no intriguing storyline anymore. And actually, that's another thing I forgot to bring up. The Drew segment with Aldous and Cody. Again, I'm actually liking these segments. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're the most intriguing things right now on SmackDown. But do you agree with Mackenzie about Cody being a little stale as WWE champion right now? And if so, is it really his fault?
It's not Cody's fault for being still. I think I look at it from a different way. I look at it as like I think people really are rallying for Drew to get that belt.
Yeah,
Don't you
they
think?
kind of are in a weird way,
I
right?
think after all these months and all these, he's been screwed. I've been screwed by Nick Aldis and stuff like that. Finally,
I've
you
been
could do something.
screwed.
And then
Yeah.
all the stuff that he's picking at Cody Rhodes and trying to bait him so he can be stripped of the title. And what is it? The 3 stages of hell that's going to happen in a couple of weeks on SmackDown when the new year starts. I'm intrigued about
Apparently
that.
so.
So, which 3 stages of hell? Because the last one hasn't happened for about 25 years. Because the last one was
Is it
HBK.
Triple H involved?
And Triple H. They
Yeah,
haven't done
I
3
remember.
stages of hell since then. And they did
Has
that
it really been
frequently.
that long?
Yeah, they did that frequently. They did it
Wow.
frequently because it was like I think Austin and Triple H did 3 stages
That's
of hell.
right.
I think
Yep.
Rock. Look at the common theme. Triple H. I think Rock and Triple H had 3 stages of hell, and of course HBK and Triple H had 3 stages of hell. So Cody and Drew having 3 stages of hell. Which 3 stages would you want? You need an I Quit. Maybe. Well, you can't do it. Could you do it? You got to do a cage. Got to do an I Quit, and maybe a street fight. Which way would you?
But the street fight technically is in the cage already. That's being lazy doing it that way.
Could be.
Because technically it's a no disqualification match in the cage anyway, right? So why do you need to?
Would you want to do a straight wrestling match and then kind of up the ante with I Quit? And then
You put that in. You do put that in because traditionally it's always in those 3 stages of hell matches. You know what I mean? A traditional wrestling match is in there, but again, you got to have the cage either. Okay, if you do a street fight, you got to do that secondly. First, you start with a normal match, then a street fight, then a cage match, for example, right?
Right.
So if you do it that way, absolutely, it works. So, but if you started in the cage, which I doubt they would, right? They wouldn't start with the cage, obviously.
No, I think that would be the 3rd match out of the 3 stages.
I take back what I said because I was looking at it like for whatever reason that the cage match was going to be the main thing. But I guess you can have a normal wrestling match. But I wouldn't mind an I Quit. Make it more sort of meaningful than just a wrestling match. But I'm worried if you do make it an I Quit match, whoever loses that part kind of does it bury him a little bit.
No, I don't think it.
Not buried, but like
I don't think it buries either. I mean, remember, Drew lost the Hell in a Cell with Punk. Didn't really hurt him.
I know he lost a lot, dude, and I think that's why people are really rallying behind him. He reminds me of Bret Hart in '97. He's telling the truth. Everything he's saying is the truth, but the people are booing him. Do you know what I'm saying? Right. And that's kind of what Bret Hart was doing also back in '97. When you think back to it, right?
And that's why people are rallying, and that's why people are rallying behind Drew, maybe wanting to see him, whether it be a transitional champion or not, working into Mania. I mean, again, what did I say earlier? Triple H does consistent, safe booking. Now you could take a gamble. You could give Drew the belt. Does that hurt WWE going into Mania season? No, it doesn't, because you still have Punk on the other side being the World Heavyweight Champion. So, but again, you could work Drew until maybe you could have Drew and Cody as the. No, you can't do that because maybe they want to do Cody and Roman Reigns. So again, do you want to give Drew that kind of gamble? Do you want to gamble, Jimmy? I don't want Drew to win the belt and then lose it quickly. You know what I mean? I want him to have a kind of a semi-run, maybe a 3 to 4 month run. But again, Mania season just makes it impossible.
And that's what worries me, Prof, about Drew. If you're gonna make him champion, don't make him be transitional for now, just to bump up Cody again or whatever they're gonna do. But we'll see. Hopefully they don't screw it up, man. But speaking of screwing up, though, I think it's time we do go to our AEW Worlds End predictions segment now of the Smack Attack. And it's funny, Prof, because I didn't realize we already had another freaking pay-per-view already. And surprise, I noticed, I'm like, damn it, it's World's End freaking weekend. And God damn it, that means it's going to be a bumper show tomorrow morning when it comes for the Wreckage. So we're going to be covering on that show. But
I'm already going to be tired, Hami Nice. So, if my eyes drool and whatever, it's because I was watching AEW's World's Ends. I probably might have to rewatch it in the morning, so this way I remember what I saw.
That's what I don't want to do. You know what I mean? That's the problem, man. Hopefully I don't have to watch all of it again. Because the thing about, I don't know if it happens with you, but it happens to me and Vet, funny enough. But you sometimes get into a trance watching AEW, dude. You're just sitting there staring at it, but the information is not, it's not sort of going to your brain. Does that make sense?
Oh, it does. It makes total sense. It's like, I'm watching it. I'm good. Close my eyes for a second, and then the main event happens. It's like, wait, what did I miss? Literally, I didn't miss nothing because it was just one match went 40 minutes longer than I expected. That's all.
Oh, man. I swear, that's no joke. That's a shoot right there, man. I swear to God. But it is what it is. I mean, what do you do? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But anywho, let's get into it, shall we? And let's go first with, here we go. Let's go with the Sisters of Sin, or should I do Vet a favor? Whoops, that was the wrong thing. But just, to keep it with the Wreckage.
Mm-hmm.
The Sisters of Sin.
There you go.
Shout out to the Vet if he's listening. Actually, let me put the card up, to be fair. There it is. So we get the Sisters of Sin against, why are they not there? Is this a pre-show?
That's a
pre-show match.
Yeah, that's a pre-show match.
That's
the Turnstile Brawl. Remember they have that, on TBS or TNT before the pay-per-view.
Versus Hayan and Maya World.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they? Who's the hell is Hayan and Maya World? Why are they even involved on a pre-show pay-per-view?
They're being rewarded for doing what Tegan Knox failed to do with her girlfriend.
Of course they are.
They're getting opportunity after opportunity.
Frank, I'll get back to you about that, what you just said before, after these predictions. Well, anyway, this is going to be obvious, right? I'm assuming
the Sisters of Sin, Professor, will easily get the win.
Well, if I had the voice too, I would agree with you 100%. Again, you got to establish contenders for your AEW Women's Tag Team Championship. So it should be an easy, I don't want to say a squash, but it should be a good 10-minute match for them to perform well.
Well, also on the pre-show, which is kind of surprising, but not really, I guess, it is Eddie Kingston versus Zach Gibson. Ugh, hate that guy. And it's just a good old singles match. Does it make sense? I don't think it does. But why is Gibson in the singles match?
Here's the great example of Tony Khan being Booker of the Year, which makes no sense, and AEW being Promotion of the Year. Eddie Kingston was betrayed by Hook. We've established this on the Wreckage.
Right.
Vet has explained it as best as he can, but again, Eddie Kingston's kind of like willy-nilly. He's supposed to fight Hook. I'm not saying it's supposed to be a blow-off, but he's supposed to fight Hook. That's what I'm saying.
He's supposed to, but
yeah, he's parlayed into the Grizzled Young Veterans because of what happened in the UK tour. I don't know.
Yeah. Who cares?
Again, I don't get it. Who cares? But we know who's going to win this one. This is Eddie Kingston.
Right. Exactly. Jesus Christ. Anyway, yeah, I'm with you on that one. Eddie Kingston also gets the win. And now we're finally on the main card, Prof.
No, it is a mix. This is the last match of the pre-show that will flow into the pay-per-view. This is what they do.
Oh, don't forget that. You're right. Because that third one, it'll be between both, but it's put down as a pay-per-view match. But you're right, 100%. That's exactly what will happen. Because you'll be on the edge of your seats, Prof, to order and spend $50 on this great, with the best wrestle pay-per-view, Prof. But anyway, it is a mixed nuts mayhem match, whatever that means. It is the Death Riders in Claudio Castagnoli, Daniel Garcia, Wheeler Utah, and Marina Shafir versus Roderick Strong, Timeless Tony Storm, and the conglomeration, I can't even never say that properly, in Mark Briscoe and Orange Cassidy. You know what? This match can have these nuts, as far as I'm concerned. Fucking mixed nuts match. I couldn't care less about this match, but I will say,
here's the problem. Here's the
right.
problem. I don't care who wins. Probably the Death Riders will win.
I don't either. That's the bad part.
But you had on TV, you had Toni Storm and Marina Shafir, going back and forth, whether in tag or whatever the case may be. You had a nice, convenient singles match. This could have flowed into the pay-per-view. I would have mind a Toni Storm versus Marina Shafir one-on-one match. Maybe Tony Khan, that genius booker that he is trying to save it. I don't get it, but he's trying to save it. But for this throwaway match, and let's not forget, I want to remind people, since I'll remind people on the Wreckage. You know how I am. Remember that Death Rider storyline that we were all talking about, we were all hoping for? That we were waiting for the Death Riders to beat down John Moxley and throw him out of the Death Riders.
We've been waiting a long time, bro.
I think we're gonna wait till 2027 because something's wrong here. And Jimmy, we got almost $2. We got another
shit. We do. Again, I know Scott Halo is technically Mr. Scotty Woodford. That's who Scott Halo is, giving us the $1.99 super chat once again. You also get a gong. It's Scott Halo with the $1.99 super sticker. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Scotty. Appreciate it. We both appreciate it. But he says beer's on the vet today. Boom. JCW, AEW. Is he right?
Can't have beer while you're working, Scotty. You know that.
Ah, there you go. He got you.
You don't want a drunk vet. Well, you want a drunk vet on the Wreckage.
That would be interesting.
You don't want a drunk vet working. That's what I'm just trying to say here. But
unfortunately.
But again, I have problems with the Death Rider storyline, which has been so discombobulated thanks to the Continental Classic and what we wanted to see and never materialized and all that stuff. I just wanted to remind people, but I'm picking the Death Riders to win this match.
That makes two of us.
And I'm picking Marina. And I'll say this. I think it would be prudent not to have Marina Shafir give the mother's milk to either Toni Storm or Orange Cassidy. Either or. I don't mind it.
I love that move and hate it at the same time. The name of it just disturbs me, but it's funny at the same time.
But it's got to be Marina. It's just got to be Marina.
It's a great name, though, in a way, too, though. So thumbs up to Marina.
I'm saying that Marina should beat Toni because then you could at least do a singles match, maybe for a future Dynamite.
Yeah, and I'm down for a bit of a program between them two anyway, but we'll see what happens in the future. Obviously, you can never guarantee anything when it comes to AEW. That's the bad part. Match number 4. It is Kazuchika Okada versus Konosuke Takeshita. It is a Continental Classic semi-final match, but get this, there is a stipulation to it. If Okada loses, he will vacate both the AEW Continental Championship and the AEW Unified Championship, guaranteeing a new Continental Champion in the final. Now I'm confused, Prof.
Well, supposedly Okada still has 3 belts. A Unified belt, a Continental belt, and the International belt. The International is still his.
It is?
Yeah, it's still his. He's not defending that belt, but the Unified belt is, again, it makes no sense. But this is Booker of the Year. This is what the sicko has been telling me about Booker of the Year and Promotion of the Year. But here's another problem I have. We talked about this for weeks, Jimmy. We said the Continental Classic had a story in the making with Takeshita and Okada being the finals. It's supposed to be the finals. I mean, as you know this.
Finals.
It wrote itself.
They fucked it up, bro. I can't believe it.
Fucked it up, and they're trying to gloss it over.
How did they fuck it up, bro?
I don't know. I'm just saying. You had the finals. But here's the thing. You know what I thought about when I'm seeing this match, Jimmy?
I can't believe it.
Let's put all the people in the semifinals together. We got Takeshita and Okada on one end, and then you got Moxley and Fletcher on the other end. So it is what it is. But
I'm gonna cry.
The Death Riders were supposed to implode how many nights, but I don't think we're gonna get that until 2027. Seeing this semifinals and seeing the brackets here, Jimmy, I'm gonna say this.
I need a bong after that, Prof.
Have a beer and a bong. Scotty will provide the beer and the bong, right, Scotty?
Yeah.
Anyway, it looks like the Death Rider storyline that I've been asking for weeks will now materialize with the Don Callis family, because I guarantee you somebody from the Don Callis family is being kicked out. World's End. It will either be Takeshita or Fletcher. That's the way I'm looking at it. But again, Fletcher or Takeshita will be kicked out of the Don Callis family.
Fletcher's interesting that you said that. That's interesting. I wouldn't have thought that. Takeshita, even that. I'm not sure about. I don't even know anymore, Professor. I don't know, bro.
Is the way I'm looking at what I've seen on TV, Hummy Nights. I wanted the Death Riders to implode. I want them to kick Moxley out. If they do that 2 weeks later in 2026, it will make no goddamn sense because they never materialized it. But the Don Callis family, you can actually kick out somebody, and you can kick them out on Saturday, tonight. You can actually kick them out tonight. But I'm saying it's either going to be Takeshita or Fletcher.
God damn it. Yeah, I can't, my head just doesn't compute. You know what? You called this. You said it from the start. When we first started with the Continental Classic, and we'll talk about it, we all agreed that the finals was meant to be Okada and Takeshita, right? Like you did throw in, but don't be surprised if Tony was to swerve us, right? You said it exactly in those ways. And this is what he thinks is a swerve, which is so dumb, bro.
Yeah, it's a semifinal match is the swerve. But now I'm trying to think, how are you going to make it after the fact? You're right. So I'm just saying you have to kick out somebody from the Don Callis family. So who's you going to kick out? Takeshita or Fletcher? I think you kick out Fletcher.
And then he goes.
You wanted me to pick somebody, right?
Run?
You want me to pick somebody, right?
We were talking about
Okada. I'll pick Okada, and I'm going to pick Fletcher. No, and I'll pick Moxley as the semifinals. And I'm going to pick Okada against Moxley in the finals, and I'm going to pick Okada to repeat.
I hope so. Or is it as dumb as it sounds, the Moxley redemption story? It is being weekly done. Don't get me wrong. It's been bad.
What redemption? There was no redemption.
He's
like, it's just another day in the office. I get hurt. I pick myself up. It's not redemption, Jimmy. No, don't gloss this over. I'm not going to take this. I'm going to get off the call right now. Do not do that. Do not give Tony Khan the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly. I'm taking that from you, Prof. You said it about this exact storyline. I'm going to say it about this stupid content. Anyway, who knows? I'm not saying that's going to happen, though. I'm just saying, don't be surprised. But as far as this match goes, I'm going to go Okada as well. Because, does he get out of the Callis family? I don't know. This is weird, but I'm going to go Okada. I'll stick with that, too. So far, we agree about every match. Funny enough, Prof. But that leads us to the next match, funny enough. It is match number 5 between Fletcher and Moxley. Obviously, in the other Continental Classic semi-final match.
Well, I already gave my final, so that's why I just said I kind of cherry-picked it. I wanted to combine the two. I said Okada wins, and then Moxley wins this match. Then that's why you have that finals. And then if Okada wins, this is the way I would do it. With the Don Callis family celebrating, you can put some, let's say, some emotion. People think it will be Takeshita, but maybe it's Fletcher. That's why I just said you kick out Fletcher, because I think they work better with Fletcher. I think Fletcher can actually go on his own. He has the look. He's got the mannerisms. He has the charisma a little bit.
You think so?
I think he has more. Well, he has more charisma than Takeshita, but because Takeshita is a silent killer. Takeshita is like a silent assassin, but you still need Don Callis to kind of like speak for you.
Well, Fletcher, of course.
Fletcher can do it on his own.
I mean,
kind of like that. Well, they've compared him to Randy Orton. Remember when he?
It's just his look. Let's be honest.
But it's the look. But he can carry himself on it, and especially with AEW, the bar ain't that high to carry yourself with a suit and just say some little things here and there.
Well, look, if that's the case, I mean, shit. This has got to be one of the quickest ascensions in wrestling history when you think about it, dude. It's been about a year that he's started doing this. I mean, to get
remember, for AEW purposes, Jimmy, the ascension is basically the matches you have, the bangers you have.
That's true.
So once you have, remember, look at Takeshita. He had banger matches on Dynamite. Well, he had it on Dark. Let's not forget Dark or Rampage. He had those banger matches on Rampage, and then all you needed was Don Callis, and then it's over. Now he's the IWGP champion. Look at it.
G1 champion too.
Right. And
but
TNT, but what?
You reminded me of something now that we're talking about Takeshita. Did you know in New Japan that it had a vote about who they preferred to be the guy in Japan? He came fourth out of the. So they did like out of 4 guys, they put him last, dude. They voted him last.
You know why? Because the Japanese fans are smart. They're not bowing the knee to Tony Khan. They know what's up. They know it's
they don't look at him as their guy.
Yeah, it's not. It's political strokes.
Right. Even though he has signed 2 different contracts, though.
No,
so technically,
I don't knock his hustle, but we know the truth. We know why he got those 2 contracts.
100%. I 100% agree. But I find that very interesting. And like you said, they are switched on. They know what's going on. But anyway, I don't want to say Moxley because of what I said before. But yeah. I want to go Fletcher. I want to go Fletcher.
Don't you see? Well, okay, go ahead. You want Fletcher and Okada to be at the end? Well,
I can see him getting maybe Okada getting a redemption over, because remember they had their first round match and I think Fletcher won, didn't he? He did.
I think so. Yeah, he did.
So, but we do get the final though. Also, so we'll see what do we. Can we predict the final really?
Well, I already did. I already gave you my final. I said it was going to be Okada and Mox in the finals for me, and I think Okada will repeat. But I like yours too. I like yours too because again, your way. I think you're doing Okada and Fletcher, right?
That's safe though. That's safe.
No. But remember, like I said, they're going to kick somebody out of the Gonzalez family. So, what better way to kick out Fletcher to me than maybe have Takeshita fuck it up?
Well, I was going to say I'm going to go Okada for that win, and then I guess. It makes sense to go that way. Will they do it though? I'm still not 100% certain because it's AEW.
I want somebody to get kicked out of a group. If it ain't gonna be the Death Riders, it better be the Don Callis family.
I've learned the hard way, bro. Every time I think they're going somewhere and we say it like they're going this way 100%. This is what TK does to me every fucking time, bro. And I'm just like, fuck this. It's ridiculous. But anyway, so I said Okada. You said Okada too for the win regardless. But I said Fletcher. You said Mox in the finals. We'll see what happens there. That'll be interesting. And if you get that, that's a bonus point. If you're right about someone getting kicked out, you get a bonus point. Not that we're competing, but we'll see who the winner is between you and I guess. You know what I mean? You could beat me, I could beat you. That's the fun in it, I guess. But anyway,
knowing the way TK does things, I'm not gonna have a good point system here.
Probably, yeah, I agree. I mean, for the most part, other than this match, we've all had the same picks. So, but next though, it is your boys FTR in Dax Daxton and Cash Cashton, your champions versus Stokely and the Bang Bang Gang in Juice Robinson and Austin Gunn, with obviously Ace Austin also apparently in the with them. Well, he's not apparently, he will be with them. Obviously, I'm going to go FTR here. As much as I hate to say it, they're going to get the win anyway. Or does Jay White come back and the Bang Bang Gang become champs in a Chicago street fight? No less.
Well, what's the difference between a Chicago street fight and a Mixed Nuts Mayhem?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I need a clarification. I mean, what's the difference between Mixed Nuts and a Chicago street fight? Because they sound like the same shit.
It very much is the same shit.
Again, I'm not a biased person, but if I'm going to look objectively with this match, we're going to go with the best tag team for the last 5 years. It's going to be FTR. It's going to be clean. It's going to be a banger match. It's going to be, maybe it's going to be match of the year. I don't know. But again, the only problem I have with this is I wanted Edge and Christian. Maybe they're saving it, but I need at least them on the TV. I need them on the Tron. I need them to at least do something. If Edge is filming something, fine, but Christian still could do something.
You're wishful thinking, Prof.
I know, but
and you know it.
That's the problem with the storylines. They don't. It writes itself, but they don't want to write it. That's the problem. No. So I'm gonna go with FTR to win it.
Yeah, that's obvious. FTR for sure. No sign of Jay White at Worlds End, you think?
I mean, no, I don't see it. I would be shocked, Jimmy. I would say
Yeah, me
this.
too.
I would be shocked for Jay White to come, but what's the circumstance? Because again, there's no other for this match, you don't need Jay, because then you got to know you already got Ace Austin in the corner. You don't
Right.
need Jay White. So I don't think you want to put Jay White in this situation. Especially
Yeah, that's a fair call.
Jay White's chasing the AEW World Title. He don't need to be lumped into this tag team story.
Let's hope that's the case also, man. Who knows when he does come back. But anyway,
Mhm.
we both went FTR, of course, for that and to regain their tag team championships. And speaking of tag team championships, next it is your AEW Women's Tag Team Championship matchup between the Babes of Wrath in Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale, your champions, versus Mercedes Moné and Athena. Man, I'm going to go with Moné and Athena, man. I mean, them two together is just money for me and just too good compared to the other two.
I'm going with the Babes of Wrath for a different reason. And the reason is Mercedes Moné should not even be in this match. I mean, she's the TBS champion. And I'll say this, Jimmy, Mercedes Moné, for her being the rest of the year by SI and all that stuff, God bless y'all. But again, for this year, who's the number one contender for the TBS championship? I haven't heard anybody. Who should be challenging for that TBS title? Number one. Number two, I've been told that this is the downfall of Mercedes Moné. So why would you want to gift her the tag team titles? Because then it offsets
to make up for the lost ones, I guess.
Again, if you're gonna have a downfall, you have to keep the downfall consistent.
But this is AEW, though.
No, you're right. It is AEW. So what do you want to gift her this belt and then lose a rematch like 3 days later? I'll go with you with that. But again, she doesn't need to be in this match. Athena doesn't need to. These are two women that don't need to be in this situation. They are singles competitors. They're established champions, and they need established storylines, which they haven't gotten. That's all I'm just saying. Babes of Wrath, a heartfelt story. Keep the heartfelt story going. Continuing on.
So we're going to keep it, the feel-good story, I guess, between them two. And then when I say over, I use that term very lightly. But as far as AEW over goes, they're over in AEW. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, the people are starting to get behind them.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't hurt that Willow Nightingale with that nice ass and Harley Cameron with them boobies makes it good. I pay attention. I wake up with that match.
Hey, you know what? They actually do have good chemistry together, man. I'll give them that. So yeah, I'm still though gonna stick with the heels on this one, hopefully. But you'll probably get me on that one. I feel for whatever reason. But on paper, it shouldn't even happen.
Right.
Excuse me. But next we got an AEW Women's World Championship matchup next. It is Chris Statlander, your champion, versus Jamie Hayter. This one is pretty obvious again for me. I'm going to go and stick with Chris Statlander. Sorry there, I'll just mix up my words. To get the win over Hayter, who reminds me of that 70s guy in Mike Awesome back in WCW, except she's the female version in AEW.
I agree. I think Chris Statlander will keep the title. I think on a different scale, I think she'll win this match, but I think the feud will still go on. I think Jamie Hayter will be frustrated. You know what I'm getting? And then maybe they'll try to shake hands and maybe she'll slap her or something like that, or beat her down. Because again, because of Toni Storm and because of Mercedes Moné drowning out this division, you need something fresh. So Jamie Hayter, I like her in the 70s gear, don't get me wrong. But again, let's keep it a buck. What are you gonna do after? What's Chris Statlander's next opponent? You just gonna keep feeding her stuff until Mercedes Moné is ready to be the champion? No, you can't do that. So why don't you keep this going a little bit? Why not have Jamie Hayter be a little bit of a heelish move? Doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt at all, no. But it's insane they're still sticking with Chris Statlander, of course. Zane says, have some respect for Mike Awesome. Mike Awesome is one of my favorite big guys of all time. No shit. That's a shoot. I was pissed when he was made to be that 70s guy in freaking WCW. No shit. I was really, because he should have been a killer everywhere he went. In WWE, in WCW. He should have been that killer. I mean, there wasn't many big guys like Mike Awesome that could do what he did, man. And he was a big dude.
Get it right. He was the 70s guy, but he was also the fat chick thriller. Too,
Thriller,
so.
right. Exactly, of course. How did I forget? The fat chick thriller, really. It's funny, right? But come on, bro.
Hey, you already answered your own question, bro. Who booked it, bro? Sorry. I know that's a shoot, but some bro booked it and said it's money, but
wait a minute.
Monday morning, y'all could do some Monday quarterbacking. Y'all could do some Monday morning quarterback after the fact, but again,
we got to censor the prof right now.
I'm objective for a reason. I call it like I see it.
I'm just fucking with you though, man. We always on to see it.
Zane said it right. Pause. It was pause. Yeah, pause. You can bleep me out and pause. Same thing.
Could you hear the bleeping as I was doing the beep?
Oh yeah, I can hear it.
I did that for comedic effect, just quietly. I mean, it's pretty funny.
It works both ways. Don't get me wrong.
Oh man.
Moving on.
Oh, you're the best, prof. You're the best. That is awesome. Anyway, speaking of, see what I did there? That was awesome. Did you say Statlander, by the way, he's going to get the win?
I'm going with you.
Yeah,
I just said Statlander will win, but I think Jamie Hayter will go heelish to continue on.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I don't think I agree with you yet, but we'll see. Again, but next is the main event.
Wait. Let me just say this before we move on to the last match, because again, all I'm just saying is, what will be next for Statlander? Again, they got a deep roster of women. No, they got a deep roster of women. Again, I can name them: Marina Shafir, Megan Bain, Penelope Ford when she gets healthier, Queen Amanada. But you're not using them right. Again, you don't want to feed her until Mercedes Moné just feels like she wants to be the champion. Again, I wouldn't mind Megan Bain challenging for the belt, but again, I'm just saying for storyline purposes, I wouldn't mind Jamie Hayter having a little bit of a frustration moment and just slapping the shit out of her. Just keep it going.
That'd be funny, actually, if that was to happen. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, again, you just don't. I can't trust AEW for going any direction anymore. They've lost me when it comes to that. So now I'm just, like I was saying before, you just look at it, you watch it, and you just sit there in a trance watching it and hope for the best. Hopefully you snap out of it. Because they say in Texas, ooh, nah.
Ooh, I ain't. You're gonna bleep that out.
That is hilarious, man. Well, anyway, now we got our main event. It is the final match of the World's End. And by the looks of things, hopefully the world doesn't end after this pay-per-view. But anyway, it is a four-way AEW World Championship title match. And it is Samoa Joe, your champion, versus Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page versus MJF. It is a four-way dance. I mean, I would love if this was an elimination four-way dance, do it ECW kind of style, like back in the day. I don't like how no promotion does that.
Not for AEW pay-per-views, because then we have a 6-hour pay-per-view, man. What are you talking about?
True. That's actually very true. I just want to just quickly say to Purvis Young, thank you for joining us, by the way. I mean, you got to rewind the show, brother. We were talking about the Street Profits a little earlier, and you might be surprised with what we said. But you're right. Where are they, man? But go to the start of the show, and you'll hear us talking about it. But thank you for joining us, man. But anyway, Prof, who's got the win between these four? I want to go with MJF, but this is a bit of a tough one. I think I'll go with MJF. I think. Only because it's the right thing to do right now. Everyone else, I mean, Joe, I love Joe. He's one of my favorite in the last 15, 20 years, right? But Joe's just he's just a placeholder right now for someone else, in my opinion. And I think he will lose the championship right here. But who's the right man to get the belt? Is it Swerve or MJF? I'm going to go with MJF right now.
You know what's funny? I respect your pick, but I actually think it's easier to cancel MJF out. The reason I cancel MJF out is because think about this. What has he held for the last 4 years? That Dynamite ring.
Right. Exactly.
Who's got it now? Who's got it now?
Ricochet does. You're right. Ricochet, right. You're right.
No, it's
I see where you're
Bandito.
going.
Bandito's got the ring.
Oh, yeah. Was it Bandito? Oh, yeah. He did
Right.
beat fucking Ricochet, right? You're right.
So you cancel MJF out because then he's gonna fuck with Bandito because he's gonna challenge, get his opportunity, but it's still out that ring. It's gonna be like, think about it like Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon having two inner IC belts on the ladder. He's got two rings. Who's gonna be that? It's gonna be stupid. But MJF cancels himself out. So now with that being
ring fucking bench, is that what you're saying?
Again, I'm just trying. I look at what I see. But now look at it this way. It's either going to be Swerve or Now Swerve and Hangman kind of cancel each other out because I think either or will almost win and either or will prevent them from winning.
Right.
So with that being said, I think Samoa Joe, which I think is the right thing to do, is to keep the title and keep going. Because you got two things can happen. You can have Swerve and Hangman reignite what people thought is the best rivalry in AEW history. And of course, like I said, you have MJF and Bandito in 2026 fighting for that stupid ring, and Samoa Joe just keeps going.
Unified ring, by the way.
Yeah,
that makes sense with what you're saying. But again, this is AEW, and I just don't trust they go the right path. You know what I mean?
But again, I just say that those three cancel each other out. But I gave you reasons why they cancel each other out.
No, I know, and you made me now doubt that pick completely because you said about the ring, and I didn't think about the ring. So it's like, damn it. And the first time he didn't participate in the match too, which is odd, because really he wins every single one. I guess that's why they didn't put him in.
Right.
Fuck, man. So you
but
think
again,
Joe's
if it's the new MJF and the Dynamite ring is beneath him, fine, let's work with that. But again, it's still MJF, so he still fucks with people. So why not?
He could do both.
He could do both. That's what I'm just saying. But again, I just can't have Joe being a transitional champion that quickly. I just can't see it. Tony doesn't at least do that. Tony will give him a month more. He'll give him until Revolution. He'll give him until Revolution. It's too early for World's End.
It's tough, man. Because when you think about it, isn't it surprising that even Hangman dropped the belt?
Well, his time was due.
You think? It was due even before he won it, to be honest.
But again, it wasn't meant for Hangman to win it. Well, again, Booker of the Year forgot that someone wanted to climb a mountain, but then he forgot to persuade him that mountain. You could have saved that mountain for another time when you could have been the world champion for story of the year purposes. But again,
yeah, you talking about Double J?
Well, that too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, talking about mountains.
If anybody should dethrone, yeah, you're right. If anybody should dethrone Samoa Joe, it's Bet's favorite, Jeff Jarrett.
Hey, J.
His last run.
Double F.
What a way to do that last run.
And I can't believe they screwed that up too. And you know what's funny? Conrad Thompson this week asked him, "Are you still signed with AEW?" Right? And he says, "Yeah, I am, absolutely." He goes, "Oh, okay." He just kept going on. I don't know what was up with that.
He does the pre-shows.
Yeah, it's weird. Why would you do that? Because talking about feel good storyline, that could have been a thing. But then again, I don't see him winning the championship, but getting there to the finals of some tournament, whatever it is, and he just misses out on the big one. You know what I mean?
Well, again, to be fair here, a feel good story, the fan has to feel good. I don't know if fans will feel good for Jeff Jarrett to win. I'm sorry. Maybe 10% will feel good. Right. 10% will feel good, but 90% would be like, why are we doing this? No, not him.
That is awesome, man. Well, there's our petition. I'm going to stick with MJF just because, again, logic goes out the window with me when it comes to AEW. There's no point of thinking too hard for me anymore. All it does is just make me want to go cray. So I'm going to stick with that, but I'm probably very wrong though. That's the thing. But we'll see. You're right. You make total sense though when you said that, but this is just wrestling to me. The storylines mean anything.
I'm thinking of stories, and I'm thinking about next week, and I'm thinking about shows that can make sense. That's all.
Well,
Tony doesn't. I'm the only.
Exactly.
I think of it. Tony doesn't. That's all.
Let's hope you're right, man. But anyway, in saying that, Prof, we just done a great smack attack. Thank you once again, man. I guess we could take it home pretty much at this point, but Tell them what you're up to and what you're doing, where they can find you, man.
Well, hopefully some Haminites will subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Reflection with myself and the Tommy Wonder. Again, the most nostalgic podcast out there. And, you know, we'll be back strong in 2026 and all that stuff. The last show we did was a movie special. It was starring Chris Jericho, Country Hearts Christmas. You know, again, I do it for the fans. It was a request. I did it for Josh. Tien Kupana wanted it. I give it to the fans. So if you give me a request, I will actually do the show. Movies, rivalries, episodes, I do request.
You know, it's funny. Up until you, I never ever heard of this movie before. And Jericho, I believe, has never even spoken about it. like seriously.
As long as the check clears, he don't care.
I wonder how much you got paid for doing that. Do you think it would have been all right?
Hey, it was a religious channel, so, you know, he got something out of it.
Awesome. Oh, well, anyway, look out for, of course, the Wreckage. Come on, Prof. Boy.
Oh, okay. That's my fault. That's my fault. Duh, boy. Do it again. I'm sorry.
Well, I'll just go. And also look out, ladies and gents, of course, for the
Wreckage. Boy.
Nice. Right here tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, where we talk all things AEW. It is, of course, myself, the Professor, and the Vet, where we break down absolutely all this nonsense as what we were just talking about, plus more, including your Dynamite show and, of course, Collision. Look out for that for this ultra bumper edition of That Wreckage. It is a Christmas edition because AEW said so, just quietly. So look out for that. Of course, also, look out for I Like a Raw with myself and Big Ray Hernandez every Tuesday mornings live right here and exclusively on the Hamid Media Group's YouTube channel. And of course, the Smack Attack either on Fridays or Saturday mornings. I don't know. It's just look out for them between them 2 days because everything's always changing when it comes to this show all the time. But more importantly, please like and subscribe, as it says right there below me, to this very channel, man. We appreciate everything you guys do for us, including all the super chats and the super stickers and whatnot. I mean, we couldn't be any more thankful. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be doing this. So we very much appreciate it, man. And also, I think that's a wrap, Prof. So in saying that, I am Jimmy T. He is the magnanimous and the glorious, the Professor Chabelo Vera Cruz. And you've been listening and watching the Smack Attack live right here on Hamid Media Group's YouTube channel. And of course on channelattitude.com after the fact. Till next time, we're out. Peace.
Boy.
Frying pan, like smack and bun when I come and slam. Yeah, cheese pics when I blow